What is up, guys? For those of you who are jumping in on this as a playback in the future, I want to thank you for coming and checking this out. And actually, I'm going to thank you for sitting here and hanging out for just a second while I finish setting this up, because I completely forgot to do this a second ago. There we go. Now we got a microphone. I hope you can hear me just a little bit better now that I got that set up. So how are we doing today, guys? Welcome to the end of Wednesday. Your week is just about over, I hope, at least. We got a couple little things to talk about. I took a shot at doing this a couple of minutes ago and failed miserable, so I reset the whole thing and started over. Hey guys, glad to see you there. I thought I might be screwing something up here. Mr. Mike Lassiter and Mr. John Isabella, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here, guys. How are y'all doing today? What are we up to? What are we doing? First and foremost, I wanted to ask you guys, did you guys hear about the that boat from the Deadliest Catch? Well, it's supposed to have been from Deadliest Catch. Turns out it wasn't, but it was a fishing boat in that exact same area, capsized, and they had a bad day yesterday. What's up, William? How's it doing, man? Again, I talked to you earlier, man. I apologize for not being able to get a hold of you. It has been just a sickening week at work this week. Good to see all you guys. Boo gang. Oh, don't do that to me. Hey, boo gang. Oh, man. Yeah, you're hitting a little bit of a sore spot with that, my friend. I am not a boo gang fan. So, William, you leaving tomorrow afternoon? Did I get that right? Mr. A&J Outdoors, how are you doing, sir? How'd that bacon turn out? It's funny, I was just thinking today, like, what am I going to do for the milestone? I haven't done a single milestone on this channel. We went through, 100 subscribers, 250. We're getting up close to 500. We'll get there pretty quick, and I haven't put a second's thought into what we need to do for those milestones. And so now I have some ideas, and I'm not sure. You guys have some interesting ones. So you guys don't know, A&J just crossed 500 subscribers. Congratulations, sir. Very well deserved. And so for his 500 subscriber special, he ate some bacon. That was in response to Grant McIntosh, another great channel out there. He's not in the chat here, but he's been streaming for like days on end. That guy went and he crossed 1,000 and he's eating a worm. I don't know if he's done the video on it yet, but that's his whole thing. So I'm thinking, what am I going to do? What's going to be my thing? And I have a couple of thoughts on that. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I thought about doing a video about getting stung by a jellyfish, and that was kind of a response to some stuff that we experienced in Cozumel. I got a whole video coming out on that day that we had. We had just a really weird day where we just got stung by everything. I'm in the process of editing that video right now, and it got me thinking, like, we could go out to the beach and do a video on getting stung. And I was like, well, maybe we could do like a 500 or 1,000 subscriber special and just take a man of war and get stung and explain the experience to everybody. And I was like, well, we could do that. Or like, I'm kind of thinking I'm expecting to cross the 1,000 subscriber threshold in like May or June, somewhere in there. And I thought, you know what? I will forego that. If we can cross 1,000 subscribers in April, I'll eat a jellyfish. I will straight up cook and eat jellyfish. I don't want to have anything to do with that, but I've seen that it can be done. And I would do that as like a 1,000 subscriber special. If something happened where we crossed it earlier, something we had reason to celebrate, I'll do that. What do you think about that? You guys ever seen them eat that Vietnamese stuff where they eat jellyfish? It's like Vietnamese street food. Step on a ray. Yeah, William, I did that earlier this year. I got popped by 2 rays. I've never been stuck by a stingray in my life. It happened twice this year. I didn't get it on video, but I got the aftermath of my ankle bleeding out all over the place. I did not get anything on video of me limping around for a week later. That was miserable. The other one, that was the second one. The first one that I got me up underneath the thumbnail, like up underneath the cuticle area right there. Also sucks. That was a very painful experience. Not fun. Man, you guys pop in quick. I don't even get a chance to say hi to everybody. Winchester, how are you doing there? I'm Hook TV. Good to see you, sir. No, you're right about that. Portuguese man-o-war is not a jellyfish, which puts me off the hook, so I won't have to eat a Portuguese man-o-war. I was thinking, my thought on this was if I'm going to eat a jellyfish, I'm going to hold myself to this, I'm probably going to go cabbage head. And for those of you guys in the know, you're going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I can see why he'd do cabbage head. But don't let anybody know that, because on a YouTube video, nobody else knows. It'll look bad on video, I promise. And I promise it'll taste bad, but I'll be able to make it through without having some kind of reaction in my throat or tongue or something. Had another interesting bit. I'll curve that. I got another one we can talk about in just a minute here, but for right now, we'll keep on this. This is kind of a fun one. Hey, yeah, I'm Hook TV. Thank you very much, sir. I very much do appreciate those thumbs up. I don't really know what they mean. I'm not like a big thumbs up guy. I do it on every video, you know, that I watch. Great channels in here, and every time I watch videos, I'm always doing thumbs up. I don't know what value that actually provides, but then again, we're getting off on a YouTube thing. We don't need to do that. So, just long story short, thank you very much. I do appreciate those thumbs up. We all do. It's always nice to see. I don't actually sit there and look at them and go, oh, wow, that video had so many more than the other ones. But it's always nice to hear. It is a token of appreciation, and I thank you for that. Always nice. Life of a Fly Fisherman. Good evening, sir, and thank you for joining us. Is this your first time here with on a live stream with us? I don't recall having seen that name. If it's not your first time, I apologize. If it is, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you very much. We appreciate having you here, man. Who else we got here? I'm kind of going back on the chat just a little bit so I can get caught up a little bit. Why would you like to get stung by a jellyfish? I'm questioning the logic behind this, and the logic on that is pretty short and simple. It would be one of those videos that YouTube would probably love very much. Would probably be like the single most popular video that we've done on this channel, because people don't come to channels and watch stuff on snorkeling and Cozumel or family life and stuff. They want to see you get stung by a jellyfish. And two, you don't see a whole lot of people doing it, so it's a thing that I can do. Not many people have done. And it's an interesting experience, even if you try it once and it's a fail, something to try, you know. At least that way I can say that I've eaten jellyfish. As far as getting stung by one, I've been stung by many enough times to know exactly what that experience is going to be like, so I know that I can make it through. Plays into YouTube algorithm and helps videos get seen more thumbs up, more views. Oh yeah, no, I'm aware of what the thumbs up does. I'm kind of referring to more in-depth kind of stuff. Like I was looking at some of my I was looking at the analytics on some of my other videos, and the thumbs up did not appear to correlate so much with the good or bad videos as much as retention and CTR. I was hoping no one would ask that. I'm not too good. I'm very sorry to hear that. You know, it's been one of those weeks. We've had a rough week ourselves. Yeah, A&J, no problem, man. Do your thing. Totally understand. Well, Life of a Fly Fisherman. It's your first time here, sir? That's awesome, man. Really appreciate having you here. Thank you. we got a pretty nice, pretty small little community here, and we just enjoy kind of kicking back and chatting. Tonight's going to be a little bit more, what's the term? Low-key? Is that your, yeah, low-key is the term that Rachel just despises. Yeah, it's so we're going just a little bit low key, and the reason being is because Cole Outdoors just. What? Neck. What? Neck. That's what you said. Neck. Okay, so Cole Outdoors has been murdering the live streams lately. That guy's live streaming for something like 4 or 5 or like 1954 hours a day, something like that. So he was doing his this morning, and then you had Serving From My Home and Grant McIntosh and all these dudes. All of a sudden, everyone is coming out of the woodwork and just live streaming the crap out of everything. By the time anybody makes it to one of ours at this time of night, everyone's worn out, or as you can see, we're a little bit more low key. Long story short, we're getting the tail end of the whole life. Plus, you have Baitman TV. I'm not suggesting that you jump over to his thing right now, but he is going on, and he is an interesting watch. So I'm up against him right now. That's c'est la vie. That's how it goes. Mr. Tony Bishop, hola, señor, ¿cómo está? How are you doing today? Hey, bullies from the old school. I totally understand that, man. You know, we've all been through it. You're in high school, and you know, even the bullies have bullies. Understand that. Like, I'm not gonna say I was the friendliest person when I was in high school. I tried to be, but there was some people that made me mad. I pushed them around because I was bigger. Not something I'm proud of. But I will tell you from that experience that I also experienced it myself. I had guys that were bigger than me that tried to push me around, and I remember that to this day. Just, yeah, and you know, you just got to do what you got to do. Only 5:10 there. I think it's like, oh shoot, it's after 7 here. It's kind of late. Just one of them days, man. I can't even tell you. So, off of that note, A&J, good to have you back, sir. So I got a different topic of conversation for you guys. Okay, so I got this. This is something that I wanted y'all's input on. I'm kind of curious what y'all have to think about this. I was thinking about this, and what are the things that the metrics and variables that you can use to meter the value of a fishing trip? Obviously, the very first and foremost thing that would come to mind, the most important things that you can do to measure the value of a fishing trip would be the experiences, the things that you have learned, the memories that you have gained, the time that you have spent with friends and family, the things you have seen and done that you'd never seen or done before, and the absolute peace of mind that you get out of just being out on the water or out on the beach, or out on the boat, or whatever you're doing out on the lake, and just being away from everybody, being out in nature, you against an animal that does not exist in a life that you are at all aware of. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best way of measuring the value of a fishing trip, is by all of those experiences that you gain out of it. And I got to thinking about it. And of course, another way that you can sit there and measure the value of a fishing trip is by the size of the biggest fish that you caught, or the amount of fish that you caught. A lot of people do that too. And I got to, my thought on it was, I'm kind of curious, the financial value, the monetary value of a fishing trip. What got me to thinking about this was an article that I read in the newspaper. For you guys, if you're curious, anyone who wants any kind of reference on the things that I'm talking about, I do have links down in the description down below, so you can kind of see this after the fact, or if you're watching this on the playback, I've got references down below in the description so you can see what I'm talking about. So this gentleman in Japan caught an amazing bluefin tuna. He went and sold it at market for $3 million. He sold a $3 million fish. That got me to thinking, what is the most valuable fish that I have ever caught? Now, we're not fishmongers, and we're not, you know, up to date with market values and stuff like that, so don't sweat it. It's, you know, we'll play with just some regular numbers here, just some basic generic numbers. I like numbers, sorry. But I was sitting there and I was thinking about, I was like, okay, so what is the most expensive fish that I've caught, and how can I compare to the gentleman who just sold a $3 million fish? Well, the best fish that I ever caught was that shark that we got in the very first fishing video that we did on this channel. If you want to see that, I believe I've got a link up here, up above one of those little cards. And if not, it's Fishing Season 1 playlist, the very first video in the channel trailer on our channel. I caught a 400-pound shark. I don't remember what kind it was. It was some kind of offshore shark that we caught. Zero value. You see, that is not a legal species of fish to catch. That is not, or to keep. It's not a fish that you can keep. Therefore, there is no market value for the meat on that fish. Now, you could, you know, you could look at some of the other sharks out there, but then again, like Mako sells for $11.50 a pound. I've never caught a Mako. Not yet. And I wouldn't say that any of the other sharks that I've caught taste anywhere near as good as Mako, and therefore I don't think that the value is going to be anywhere near what the value of a Mako is. So it's kind of hard to tell. And it's not like you can go get black tip or sandbars or hammerheads out on market. So it's kind of a hard value. You know, how do you put that kind of value to it? And I got to thinking about it. The best fish that I ever caught was about a 20-pound red snapper. And at that time, red snapper was selling for about $7 a pound. Now, I didn't get 20 pounds of meat off of that fish. I probably got 6, maybe 8. So we're talking about a $40 to $50 fish. That is the most expensive fish that I have ever caught in my life, a $40 or $50 fish. All the fishing that I have done over the last 3 decades, most expensive fish was a $40 or $50 fish. Now we caught a few, but that's still, it's mind-boggling that that is where I have absolutely maxed out. And I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are on that. I believe, so you know, for reference, catfish sells for $7.79 a pound for you freshwater guys. Mahi sells for $11.29 a pound. Now that is the price that you pay for. That's the retail, and that's not what you get paid. Rainbow trout, $7.99 a pound. Where are you guys at on that? What is the most expensive fish that you have ever caught? Now we're talking about fillet weight, not the total fish weight. So I want to know in the chat here, who and anybody who's catching this in playback, leave a comment down below and let me know what is the most expensive fish that you have ever caught based on some of those just generic little numbers. We're talking $7 a pound for market fish, things that you can buy at a restaurant or at market. You know what I mean? Anyway, kind of curious what your thoughts are on that. Where do I fall amongst all of you amazing anglers as far as the monetary value of the fish that you've caught? Getting caught back up into the chat here. Some of my best trips, I didn't catch anything. Yeah, dude, William, exactly. It is about the experience first and foremost. Absolutely it is. And that's how it needs to be. That's if you're not experiencing that, then you're not doing it right. You know, that's how it needs to be. But that having been said, let's just take a fun little look at the monetary value, you know, the numbers, the dollar value. If you were a fishmonger, how good of a fishmonger would you be? Ratty Star, absolute pleasure, sir. Great to have you in here, man. Thank you for coming and dropping by. How are you doing today? WTF, you need to fish more? Yeah, I do. Always. There's no way I could get enough fishing in my life. I'm seriously considering, and I have been for years, but I'm seriously considering, and I have Rachel's approval to get my captain's license, my 6-pack. We'll see how that turns out. Maybe you need to get your CCW. Oh, yeah. I get busted for no commercial license. Yeah, see, yeah, Tony, and that's exactly what I was referring. I'm not actually talking about selling fish, because I agree with you on that. And again, I wouldn't mind getting my 6-pack so that I could do, I don't know if that allows you to sell fish. I know this allows you to charter a small vessel, but just a thought. Mr. Mike Albright, am I saying it? Is it Albright? Albright? It is an absolute pleasure. Oh, that's what the fuck, Mike. And I just said that. Thanks, Mike. There's no way I can bleep that. Regardless, sir, it is an absolute pleasure to have you here, sir. Thank you so much for joining us, man. I thoroughly enjoy the time that I have seen in your videos and live streams and stuff like that. So thank you very much for joining us, man. It's an honor to have you here. Air, I've never caught a fish, so air. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you taking a look at the numbers like that, it's the great leveler. I hate to put money as like a thing on fishing, but seriously, when you take a look at the dollar value of the things that I've caught, I am an absolute nobody when it comes to fishing. Now, granted, I'm a meat guy, so I go after whiting and spade fish, market fish that you're not going to sell for anything at all. I feed my family, you know, we eat off of that stuff, and they're fish that they're not commercial fish. They're not things that you sell at market. So the things that I target don't necessarily correlate with a dollar value. But still, I have a little bit of skill, and it'd be nice to measure it versus the pros and the commercial guys. And yeah, when I'm up against them, I am an utter failure. $126 for a 28-pound catfish for about 18 pounds of meat, $7 a pound. Yeah, and see, that's a good one right there. So that's a 28-pound cat. You're talking the big fillets, and the big fillets are worth more than the small ones. So you're talking about a serious dollar value in fish there. Biggest catfish I ever caught was probably 7 pounds, something, a big gaff top, you know, something along those. Oh, no. I take that back. I think I caught about a 20-pound. I caught a 20-pound cat out of the creek by my house one time. Again, 20-pound catfish. We're looking at 40% of that is meat. 60% is all bones and innards. So for 8 pounds of meat, so 50, again, we're in the $50 range for me on that one. That wasn't that big of a deal. It's still, it'd be kind of sad to me considering, you know, I've caught sailfish and I've caught, you know, big Dorado, wahoo, and swordfish, and The most expensive thing that I can put on the map is a $50 catfish. That's kind of embarrassing for me. Yeah, shark finning, I am absolutely detested by that. I find that a disgusting practice. Unfortunately, as much as I like Asian culture, I am absolutely despised by their treatment of animals for food purposes. Just not a fan. I've been to Chinatown in San Francisco, and the way that they treat the animals that they're going to sell for food is just disgusting in that regard. Shark finning, exact same thing. Not a fan. Mr. Darren's Northern Life, sir, it is an absolute pleasure to have you here, man. How are you doing? You doing ice fishing right now? You out at the... I'm going to assume you're not at the shack right now, which is like the first time I've talked to you in forever where you were not at that shack. It's like you're living out there. 58-pound ling caught off the Mayan Princess rigs last year. Yeah, I don't know that ling is a commercially available fish. Because see, a ling, I've got some big ones. I got some big lings under my belt, cobia. But I don't know that is a commercial species, at least not in Texas. It is in California. It's free reign on cobia in California and the entire West Coast. They're invasive species. Biggest fish ever caught was drum. Drum roll, please, non-existent. I thought you were going to say drum. I've got some big drum. BFG Good Wrench mud terrain. It was new, so $300. Well, you take the bait, my friend. You got the big win for tonight, BF Goodrich. I'm trying to think of the competition's name. I can't do it. I was going to try to make a joke about how I don't use Good Wrench. I use these other guys, but I can't think of the other guys. I do actually use other guys. What are those? Nito. I'm a Nito guy. There we go. That's the joke I was looking for. That was funny. Hey guys, if you get a chance, you need to check out WTF Mike. He's got an awesome channel. He's also one of those guys, like I was talking about just a little while ago. Cole Outdoors is another fantastic channel. Him, Grant McIntosh, and a lot of these other guys all jump up every single morning for something upwards of like 46, 79 hours a morning and live stream, and it's some pretty good stuff. Those guys are putting out some really cool, really interesting content. It's worth watching if you're bored in the morning, man. I believe, Mike, that is not how I came across you, and I don't remember how I came across you, to be honest with you. It was JNC's channel or something like that. Probably caught you in a live stream there. But absolute pleasure again having you guys here. You got some really awesome channels here. Darren's Northern Life, of course, like I was talking about a minute ago. This gentleman is spending a whole lot of time out on a frozen lake in an awesome shack catching some really rad fish, and I believe they're eating worms as well. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Darren. You guys eating worms out on the ice? I was talking a minute ago about doing the 1,000 subscriber special like everybody else is doing, where you eat something weird, and I'm putting it out there. I will eat a jellyfish. If I'm expecting to hit 1,000 subscribers in May or June, and if I can hit that prior to May, I will eat a jellyfish. I will do that on camera. Do I have to do it live? I don't know. Something to think about. But I will do it. Miss Lacey, it is an absolute pleasure to have you, ma'am. How are you doing tonight? It has been a long day for you, I know, because you were there in the chat of the very first live stream that I put on this morning. I believe that was Cole Outdoors. Then you did your own, and now here it is, 12 hours later, and you are still at it. You are a YouTube beast, ma'am. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here, and thank you for joining us. Always makes for a good stream when we have Miss Lacey in the chat. Yes, catching a ribbon eel so that you can clean the tank does count. Ribbon eel tastes good. You're eating minnows. Dude, I did a video earlier on, and again, this is earlier on, and I did not do a fantastic job of it, but I ate a bunch of menhaden, which are a terrible, well, they're a good bait, but they're terrible. They're actually good tasting. They're just really bony. But I did a video eating those, and that video tanked. So I'm probably going to do that again, just so you guys know, because it was actually pretty good tasting. Also a minnow. Terrible, though, that time. A jellyfish will be so disgusting. Yes, it has to be on live stream. All right. If I can top 1,000 subscribers, I'm putting that out there right now. You guys can hold me to it. I give all of you permission to keep me in check. If I can pass 1,000 subscribers prior to May, I will eat a jellyfish live on a live stream. Hey, I'll do it. You know, you're awesome, man. What I didn't say is I was probably going to do a cabbage head. I did say that, but it was probably going to be a cabbage head. I'm not. I don't. Yeah, that's what they say. I have to do it live.
No, the cabbage head has to be alive.
Oh, I'm not going to eat them alive. That's just. Yeah, that's not kosher. I mean, I don't want to go pick up a dead one off the ground, but.
I know, that would be nasty.
And I don't exactly know how to kill a jellyfish.
I would just pick up one like on the side of the road.
Rachel says I need to just pick one up like roadkill cabbage head. I don't want to kill him. I mean, I will. I'll kill a jelly. There's plenty of them out there, but I will feel bad about it, and I will eat him. Yeah, I'll eat him. If we do 1,000 subscribers prior to May, I will eat a jellyfish on a live stream. We'll have to do it at the beach. We'll have to make a whole deal out of it. Have a bonfire. I will be drinking. I'll tell you that right now, but I'll do it. Need some hot sauce. Can I put sauce on it? I'm curious about that. Is there something?
No sauce.
No sauce?
No.
Can I put it on a cracker?
No cracker.
Come on, I gotta be able to put it on a cracker.
No.
That's girling it up. What did somebody called that? Somebody called Grant out on that. They said he was gonna chick it up or something. So it's just got to be straight jellyfish. Yeah, 6 months. That's what I'm saying. Cooked. Shh! Don't say that. Don't say it, because then everybody's gonna say no. It can't be cooked. And I actually want to try it cooked. Rachel says it's got to be jellyfish sushi. She had to be in an isolation tank and she was growling. That's funny. You got a picky eel. I'm gonna eat a minnow in a live stream if I hit 1,000 by the end of February. I definitely don't want to do it. I would prefer a minnow over a jellyfish, man. That's about the grossest thing I can think of. Yeah, hey, guys, do you have suggestions on that? I don't want to be that guy that's like cutting up a live jellyfish and eating pieces of them in front of his face and likely his family. How do you kill a jellyfish? How do you... It's not like you can stab it to death. Can you electrocute it? I don't know. They don't have a heart. How do you do that? What is the humane way of preparing jellyfish? I don't. We're going to have to do some research on this, guys. We're going to need some information in order to pull this off correctly. It's got to be done right. Should I wrap them up in a sushi roll? Put a little rice on there? Am I allowed to do that?
No.
I was not expecting to be talking about this tonight. I've actually got a contest coming up that we're going to do as soon as I am done posting all of these Cozumel videos that I have only mentioned once and in passing. But be aware, I do have a contest coming up with the Cozumel videos. You are welcome to get in on that now. The contest is hidden in the Cozumel videos. I'm going to let you guys, just the 10 people that I have in the live stream right now, I'm going to give you the inside scoop. I have a contest coming up in the Cozumel. In Cozumel series of videos that we are working on right now. The contest is already hidden in those videos. Now, I do still have some to come. I'm not going to say that it's in the videos that have not come out versus the ones that have, but just so you know, as a means of increasing my retention on those videos, I have hidden a gift card in those videos. When you find it, you will know exactly what you're looking at. Game on. Happy hunting, guys. Find that gift card. It goes to the first person who can find it. Ocean kill. Rachel, you're sitting right next to... You're in the other room. Why are you in the chat? Yes, thank you, William. I get to have salt. I get to have salt on the jellyfish. I'll take it with salt. That works for me. Boiling water. Do you just pull the innards out? There's no innards. Darren, there's nothing to... They're the exact same thing in consistency throughout the entire thing. There's nothing to it. There's no guts. No brain, no heart. I don't know that it has a central nervous system. It's difficult. Yeah, I don't know how you go about killing it. Game on. WTF, game on, man. I love it. Sandy road, so I got to find it on a sandy stretch of road somewhere and then eat it? I think not. That's a little bit too far. I want fresh. Only the freshest of jellyfish will pass these lips.
No, next to the ocean.
That's still curbside jellyfish. I'm not doing that. I've got to kill one because I'm not going to eat something that's been run over by every trucker on the beach. They're alive. No, they are alive. They are an animal. They are. Like you said, Portuguese man-o-war, that's different. That's a conglomeration of little microscopic animals. But an actual jellyfish, that is a living creature. I can eat the prey in the jelly, yes. Hey, that's a good suggestion, actually. If we get some of those little pilot fish or whatever those are and use those as a little appetizer prior to eating the jellyfish, I'm game for that.
She needs to look up their file about how alive they are.
I know. Kill him with a BF Goodrich, that's how you do it. I'm not as good at catching those as WTF Mike is. I've never caught a BF Goodrich. I've caught some Uniroyals, but absolutely nothing there. So no worries, Darren. No worry about that, dude. There's stuff there, but it's like the exact same thing. It's the consistency of like an onion. Eating an onion doesn't taste like that, but that's what their consistency is throughout. Outside, inside, it's all just like it's all just like an oddly shaped onion. And they're full, they're solid all the way through. But it's just solid like a solid onion. You can only come in chat if you use the Google Translate thing. She's in, my daughter's taking a bath right now, so she's in there, but I'll let her know that just as soon as she comes back in here, I'll tell her that. That's funny. Hey, you are, if you're going to be in the chat, A&J Outdoors says that you're required to use Google Translate.
To use Google Translate?
Yeah.
Savannah requested a Sprite and or milk and or, I don't have anything, so I'm going to give her ice cream.
Oh, okay. Pure salt will kill them.
Well, anything will kill them with a slow.
That's interesting. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Whatever you're going to use.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, I'm going to put salt on them anyway, but I'm going to cut them into pieces. Like cabbage head are pretty big. They're like, like that.
They just dry out.
So I'm not going to dry them out to eat them. I'm getting them right out of the ocean. We're going to make a bonfire. I'm going to get drunk.
Go there, buy them, and see what they have. They don't have feelings, nor do they have any cells.
They don't have a central nervous system.
They are like basal ganglia at best.
Yeah.
And that's not translate. That's actually words.
No, they can't hear you.
Okay.
You're. This is just dead air to them.
Okay.
Or mumbling in the background. Yeah, no, I think you're wrong on that. They don't continue to function. They do have a.
No, they're like worms, like basal
Yeah, if you cut them into pieces.
No, they're not. Don't do budding or anything.
Yeah, they're not like a segmented worm where you can cut them into pieces and that. Well, that doesn't have. They're not like a planarian.
No, they're not. Look up the file, honey.
Yeah. Some of them have proto eyes. I wasn't aware of that, but it makes sense. I could see that.
No. Not from American unless you.
Holland Ash, how's it, man? Holland Ash, I'm glad you're here. I got to tell you something. The other day, and I don't remember where I was, but I saw a sign for somebody that said Holland Ash, and I've made it a habit to look out for when people have posted things that look like YouTube channels that we hang out with and are familiar with. I like to take a shot of those and put it in a video, and I did not get a shot of the Holland Ash sign that I saw, and I apologize for that, man. It was my intention to do that, and I totally dropped the ball. I did that for Josh Green. I did it for, I think it was J&C. A&J, I want to say that I slipped on that one too for you. A&J is a little bit easier to find, but I'm going to do that. Anytime I see something like that, we're going to slip that into a video for fun. And I blew it on the Holland Ash one. Sorry, man. Oh, you can hear what Rachel's saying? How is it WTF Mike can hear you? Google can't hear. You should see me editing videos. Like we do the captions on all of our videos, and it is an absolute nightmare editing her captions. Google cannot understand what the hell she is saying. Half the times, it just doesn't put anything at all, like not even question marks. It's just like she talks and there's no words there.
Where is it at? There is a.
What's up, Stanley? Look kind of thin. Oh yeah, I had to take down the beard. Rachel was hating it, and I wanted to get loved on a little bit, so beard had to go. It's starting to warm up down here. We're moving into spring in South Texas. It was 80 degrees today, I think, right?
And what universe were you in?
It was warm this afternoon when I went and picked up Savannah.
Fresh. It's always cold.
75. Oh yeah, she's always cold. Men don't hear their women. Okay, you got me there. I do. So I've shot a bunch of guns and I listened to a bunch of bad music, especially when I was younger, a lot of punk rock and stuff like that. So I have.
And he sings a lot about old music too.
Yeah, so I have pieces of hearing that I can't hear very well. I've got very poor hearing, and it's not that I can't hear things, it's that I can't hear certain pitches, and one of those pitches happens to be her voice, that I just cannot hear it. I really don't think that is selective deafness. I'm not trying to not hear you.
I'm a low talker.
But it does, she's a low talker. She says things that are very hard to understand sometimes. Real.
So gangly.
Yeah, she says things, she'll be talking about the road, but she's saying this tree, and you're expected to know that the tree she's talking about is by the road, therefore you should know it's the road. I understand the thought process now, but it took me a long time to figure it out, and that in combination with the lack of hearing makes it very hard to hear her, because I don't want you to get mad at me for explaining your weird speech impediment. Oh, we got a cold front coming in tonight, huh? And I appreciate the heads up on that. I don't do cold. I don't do cold. We like it warm. We're ready for it to start getting warm again.
That means more kids will be absent.
Yeah, you'll have some absences, but that means...
No, that means our moms don't want home.
We've got no insulation in the wall right by our bed.
Or anywhere.
That thing radiates cold. Like, seriously. We'll be all warm with a heater and all tucked in and good to go, but our head by the wall, freezing. You can feel the cold coming in off the street.
You'll be warm.
I'll be warm. Because you're like a space heater. But you're going to be... Well, I tell you, cuddle up with me at night, man. And you're always like, don't do it. That's how she sounds.
Can I just give her ice cream instead of milk? That's good, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Go with that one.
Where's the whiskey? Am I drinking wine again? I am. I got some whiskey over there. I've also got work early in the morning. And I felt like being in a jovial mood, so I'm doing wine. Those are all my excuses, of course. I found a bottle of wine for $3. There you go. That's what I'm doing.
I asked if I preferred men with shaved buttholes or not.
What?
See that? And then it's first period, I asked about how you pierce the penis.
Are you guys hearing this? Can you hear what she's saying?
That's what first period. How do you pierce that?
How do you pierce that? And what was the first conversation?
That was the first conversation. The second one was about waxing that back there.
Right. Why not just take a razor to it?
I don't know. Then he was talking about...
Does duct tape work? Can you just duct tape it?
I don't know, because they're like, oh, it's cool because y'all are like our second mom.
You can't really duct it or F it.
That is not cool. That is so not cool. I'm not your second mom, and I don't want to talk about that even if I was your second mom. It's not okay.
This is high school conversations, freshman. Same here. She told me it was selective, so I went to an ear doctor, and he said it was a woman's voice.
Well, clearly,
the solution for that is whiskey.
You heard clearly all about
wine,
the penis piercing, and you clearly heard all about the butthole waxing, but everything else was...
Are you guys hearing this? This is the conversations that...
I hear every day. No,
That's right, my friend. Mr. A&J Outdoors is not letting me stay hanging here. He is covering the whiskey tonight so that I can drink wine, and I very much appreciate that, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we are out of whiskey, aren't we?
Good guy.
That's what I drink.
Hey, I'm afraid I'm having a difficult time going back to read something in the chat here. It's kind of difficult to do. I see what you're saying on there, but it kind of jumped into a different conversation, and I can't really scroll all the way back with this. I'm sorry. Let me see.
Just not okay.
Well, can you...
Just not okay.
You're still alive. Yeah, no. See, okay, yeah, I don't really want to, I can't get into the conversation about it being dead or not because I don't know my straight up facts on that. But first off, the signs of something being alive is not, reproduction is one of them, but it's also respiration. And what are the signs, what are the things of
We want to get into it. Reproduction.
Right, that's one.
Adaptation.
Respiration.
Cells.
Adaptation.
Alive, depending on when it's alive or dead. It's
cells.
Cells. Adaptation. Cells. Race hogs. E is environment. No, it's adaptation to environment. H. Growth and development.
Yes, growth and development. That's another one. Homeostasis.
And
it has to eat.
Stands for. I already said eat. Environmental. Ebb and flow. And
yeah. So. if it's not just the ability to reproduce that is a sign of that something is being alive, it has to cover all of those bases. So if it's not able to grow, if it's not able to respirate, eat, adapt, things like that, those are signs that something is not alive. She's an environmental scientist. She knows what she's talking about. Out of whiskey, she says. What? Who's out of?
Moved on to the Bacardi.
Oh, I can't, man, it's so late. I can't get into whiskey right now. That'll screw up tomorrow so bad. Yeah, Mr. Farmall Fanatic, how are you doing, sir? Appreciate you having here, guys. That is another fantastic channel we just had pop into the room, and thank you very much for joining us, sir. It makes me feel like a little bit more of a celebrity having all of you fantastic guys in the room hanging out with us. Thank you. Some aquariums freeze jellyfish as a form of euthanasia. Hey, that is freezing them.
I heard it.
No, it's got to be fresh, man. I'm not freezing them. It's got to be fresh. I want sushi grade jellyfish for my 1,000 subscriber special.
So we're going to go to office.
A&J, absolute pleasure, man. Again, thank you very much for joining us. Again, you're making me feel like an absolute celebrity being in here. Congratulations on your 500, man. Looking forward to the next 500. We will be subscribing 7 or 8 times over in order to help you out with that.
Oh my God. It's on 71. What kind of magic?
Not really sure that it's since they can't feel pain. They aren't human. Yeah, I'm not trying to apply the human experience to them. And I don't think they just because they don't feel pain, and I don't think they feel pain, but that's yeah. Because, like, for example, when you mow grass, you know that smell of freshly cut grass? That's actually a defense mechanism. It attracts predators because the predators are attracted to the scent of that grass. They release that scent because they're under attack, and like from worms and stuff like that. So the predators are meant to come in and eat the worms. So just because grass does not have a central nervous system and therefore doesn't feel pain, doesn't mean it doesn't have a defense mechanism for that. And as a human suffering through the human experience, I'm not going to even begin to try to judge what something else goes through. It's going through something that I would find unpleasant, and I don't like doing that to another creature. Got to run to. Till next time, Mr. Hall and Ash, thank you very much for joining us, man. It is always a pleasure having you here, sir. And I see that sign again. You will see it in a video, I promise you, all of you guys. If I find a WTF Mike sign somewhere, I'll post that in a video too. Maybe I just need to start making signs, you know what I mean? Because that needs to be in videos. You know, you can't always be sitting there and shouting out other channels, even though they may be really awesome. But you can have a little thing in the background, just a little nod to those guys that you respect and cherish. Yeah, no, grass. I'm serious about that. Yeah, that's a thing. That's the reason that grass releases that scent. It's a defense mechanism. I'm not making it up. You're a scientist. You should know this. Jellyfish don't breathe, but they do respirate. They do have those. What are those cycles called when a cell respirates? There's a term for that. I don't remember. Which is breathing. They don't have cognitive function, but cognitive function is not one of those determinants of if something is alive. They don't have a heartbeat. No, they don't, but neither does the cell. Cells are alive, like a single-celled organism. It's a tree thing with giraffes. What is?
I know it is.
If that's not a fact, it's forever stuck in my... Yes, then I've accomplished my goal. I'm just going to start making up random facts like that, and I'm going to try to use my wife's environmental science degree to pass it off as fact.
And her partial master's in chemical hazardous waste.
Oh yes, and her unfinished master's in chemical hazardous waste. Which is how I learned to imbibe so much. That's the value that I got out of her near master's.
Made 7 people leave the room. 7.
I'm all right with that. That's fine. We can talk about that afterwards, but yeah. Yeah, grass thing's true. That's legit. That's a real thing. I can't think of any other weird facts. It takes it takes somebody with an interesting statement for me to come up with that weird stuff. I don't know. I don't even know where I read that or anything. I'm not the smartest of people in the world, but I just happen to hang on to certain. I'm like one of those guys that hangs on to that weird little thing that he read 10 years ago and is able to pull that back up in just stupid conversations, you know what I mean?
We're gonna watch Netflix.
All right, I will be in there. We are at the 45-minute mark, so we're going to shut this down about 15 minutes. We're going to hang out for just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to bed. I'm tired. I can't forget random facts either. Do you guys know, anybody want to take a guess at what the most popular vegetable in the world is? Anybody know that one? That's an interesting one. Most popular vegetable in the world. I'll let you guys ponder for just a moment. First person that can tell me the most popular vegetable in the world gets an amazing comment and thumbs up on their next video straight from me, and I'll leave a good one. Like you can lead a cow upstairs but never down. Yeah, I've experienced that one, Mike. We got a lot of ranchers around here. I spent a lot of time on ranches, and that's, I mean, the cattle guards that you put at a gate are just pipes. They won't step across pipes. Ring voice Lila. That's awesome. Winchester. That's cool. That adds an entirely new experience to Lilo and Stitch, man. Potato. Yeah, I know, right? Potato, carrot. All excellent choices, but incorrect. And I hope I'm stating that question correct. I believe that I am. I'm saying most popular. It might not be most popular, but it's the most purchased, most out there, most predominant vegetable in the entire world is not a potato or a carrot. Not a tomato. Yeah, a tomato is a fruit. Is that correct? I think that's right. Yeah, tomato's a fruit. Because it has internal seeds, something like that. Meh. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's a fruit. I knew that, and then as soon as I saw it on there, I was second guessing myself. It's I can't believe nobody's even Googled that or nothing. The most I don't even know the metric they use to measure it. It's not lettuce. Really? You Googled that and it came up with potato? It's a coffee bean. It's a bean. And coffee is like, you know how many pounds of coffee beans it takes to make a cup of coffee? Like a lot. You know what I mean? Am I wrong on that? Am I misquoting that? I believe that's correct. It's the coffee bean is the most something vegetable in the world. If I'm saying that wrong, that's where I'm getting it wrong. But it's coffee bean is the most something vegetable. Nobody thinks about it as a vegetable. Is a long story short on that. They think of coffee. They don't think they're eating vegetables when they're drinking their coffee. Cherry pits. Yeah, but they are the most wonderful cherry pits in the entire world, probably the entire universe. I'm stating that fact right now. Random fact, remember that one forever. I'm probably going to quote myself on that like 10 years from now, like, oh no, I heard this somewhere. I do that sometimes. I'm stupid. I'm enjoying this wine. I'm very much enjoying it. But I do have to admit a little bit of a desire for some of A&J's whiskey right now. Yeah, sweet potato, that'd have been a good one. That'd have been, I think that might be one of the most delicious of vegetables. That would probably rank somewhere up over there. Although I got a lot of Irish heritage in me, so I'm just a potato guy through and through. I love potatoes. I could eat potatoes every single day. If I could grow those things in South Texas, I would, and I'm gonna try. They're just difficult. Hating coffee? How can you hate coffee? That's like a not possible thing. I forget what that's called. When you a double negative, whatever that's called. I don't know. I'm trying to make a joke, and it's a little late at night where I can't do it. It's a seed actually, but some very, very inexpensive coffee use cherry pits that have passed through tree cats. Interesting. I'm mulling over this, Mike. I'm trying to use, man, I want to try some cherry pit coffee now. I'll pass them through the tree cat myself. Is that what you were saying a minute ago? I'm going back to seeing what you were saying about that. What was that? What was coffee beans or cherry pits? That's what you were saying. You're right, it is a seed. It is a seed, but it's a vegetable, it's a bean. But it's, now you got me sitting here and a couple glasses of wine in. I swear to God, coffee bean is a vegetable. Coffee. The coffee bean is the seed. So is coffee like a legume, whatever that thing is called? Now I'm all messed up here. I'm sitting here trying to figure out that I'd have to look it up, and you guys are sitting there commanding the time and attention of my phone. I can't look that up. It's a seed off a shrub, coffee shrub. Where am I wrong on this? I know that coffee, I don't know where that was coming from. What's that? Yes, we do. Yeah, it did. I didn't do it though.
You left the suitcase there?
Come on now.
You did.
See, I've got to spend some more time thinking about this. My apologies, guys. I'm going to figure this out. If I came up with the wrong statement, I apologize, and I will come out with a rebuttal on this, on where exactly I went wrong. I will have to look it up, because now you got me thinking about it, try to figure it out. Kopi Luwak. Oh man, there's a YouTube channel name for you, or a band name even. So guys, just so you know, we got about, I'm going to go on for like another 5 minutes here. I really am wearing down. It has been a very long day for me. I do have to be back up again early in the morning. And I have 2 meetings that I have to attend to tomorrow that I am just not looking forward to. Is it going to rain tomorrow? Well, we got a cold front blowing through down here in South Texas. I got a lot of you guys up north, so this cold front would have hit you probably 2, 3, 4 days ago. How was it, man? How did that cold front, what do we got to expect coming from that thing? Now, it's gonna be a lot more mild when it hits us than when it hit you guys. But I know that like anytime my brother-in-law gets hit up in Wisconsin, it gives us a really good weather vane of what we got to experience down here. Had to check the barometer. I don't know how close that thing is to us yet. And yes, I do use a barometer, but kind of curious how bad is it going to be. God, that's coming through tonight. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not in the mood for a cold front. Just don't do cold. I was liking it almost being 80 degrees here. What do we got? Coffee bean is a seed of the coffee plant and the source of the coffee. Okay. It is a pit inside the red or purple fruit, often referred to as a cherry, just like an ordinary cherry. So it's kind of like a branch off of the cherry, which is a fruit. Stone fruit, like Brazil nuts. That's it, man, Mike. Okay. I know I heard this somewhere. It's one of those things, I heard it many years ago, and now I'm like, what did I actually hear and where did I get it wrong? That's the thing I really want to know. What did I actually hear and where did I get it wrong? You know what I mean? Over here with the roads melting again, 98% humidity. Hey man, I live in South Texas. Let me tell you what we have to experience with weather down here in South Texas. So we live on the Gulf of Mexico and we're very close to it. And this is all farm and ranch land. So what happens is everybody plants their crops in the spring, and when those crops, and I'm talking millions of acres of crops, all across Texas, South Texas area, all along the Gulf Coast. People plant those crops. When they come up, they plow those crops. So we have millions and millions and millions of acres of black earth, millions of miles, probably not miles, but millions of acres of black earth. Right at the end of spring, right when summer hits, and our summers will get upwards of 110, 112 degrees. That black earth heats up, it causes the air to get really hot, and it causes that air to rise, which means that all of that air off of the cooler air off of the Gulf of Mexico gets sucked inland. And of course, it's not cooler when it hits us. We get high humidity year-round and prevailing 15 to 20 mile an hour winds, and that's where it comes from. And that is not a statement like coffee being the most, predominant vegetable in the world. That is a fact. I know that one from having worked for Texas A&M. I worked in those fields. I picked cotton by hand. Now that we brought your show to a standstill, great show, my friends. Some of you guys, hey, Mike, I appreciate having you. I appreciate you keeping me in check, man. The goal here is to learn. It's not to sit here and try to tout a bunch of random facts. If a random fact is wrong, I appreciate being educated on that so I don't sound stupid the next 7 times I say it. So thank you. Appreciate having you here. So, talking 98% humidity, that is exactly what I love the humidity. I like dry weather, don't get me wrong, but I'm accustomed to high humidity. I'm going to bring you back some Gliss line by Ardent from Washington. It's some of the best line I've used in the past 10 years. Hey, is it Gliss or was that a typo? Was that glass? From Ardent in Washington. I'm curious because I'd like to know a little bit more about that. I've been learning fishing knots for the past 2 years, working real hard on trying to do I do Albrights on all of my gigs back over here, and I'm trying to learn FGs. So in doing so, I'm trying to learn a little bit more about line. The better the line, the easier it is to tie them knots. So I'm all about it, man. And William, you and I had talked about getting together. I know I already apologized and made mention of it. I do want to have that conversation. I want to hear what's going on with you, man, and I want to have more of a conversation about that. I apologize it hadn't happened. Gliss. It is Gliss. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to know about that. Is that a mono or a braid, or do they do both? Problems Australia, we got deadly animals. Yeah, I know. We had that conversation. I remember all of the animals you guys got. Yours are worse than ours. We got some bad ones. This is Texas. We got some amazing snakes down here. We've got a bunch of very interesting spiders, and a lot of them are now wandering in from other countries. But you guys got us beat. We do have poisonous lizards, though. Do you? It has the makeup of a floss thinner than braid. Stop apologizing. Yeah. Now, William, you and I haven't talked a whole lot like last couple of years. I make a lot of apologies right now because like Andrew, Peter, some of the other friends of ours, like I'm just not finding any time to get around to anybody. I'm being real apologetic with everybody because everybody thinks that I'm just not being social, that I don't like them. You know how people get offended by that. So I'm just openly being, apologetic with everybody about it. Some people are getting it, some people aren't. It's just everything going on. I barely, YouTube allows me to do what we're doing here on my time. Everybody's asleep. I can edit a video for an hour. I get a couple of hours off on a weekend. We can go do some fishing. That's the first thing that we do to go get away from everything when we need that time. We can go fishing, film it, turn that into 2 videos, 2 weeks worth of content. You know what I mean? YouTube gives me the freedom to do that, which thank you guys, because YouTube allows me to do that, but also you guys are the ones that support it, and everything, and all the thumbs up and views and all that fun stuff. So thank you for that. But, I was playing music with Andrew and stuff like that, and I just physically could not. I mean, it was just like every time I tried to schedule something for the last year, that was exactly the time, like this. We were supposed to get together, have lunch tomorrow. I've got 2 meetings just popping up out of nowhere with the company that I work for, and I'm just didn't have that all week. I was clear, good to go all week, except for the fact I couldn't get away from work. And now all of a sudden when I actually try to schedule something, right out the window. Sucks. Yeah, I'm not familiar with what lizard you're talking about there, ma'am, but we have alligators, and I believe we have saltwater crocodiles here. We got some good ones, too. I know, we talked about that last time. Yeah, Mike, she gets real excited talking about the animals over there. You need to work for a zoo. You get real excited about that. All right, so guys, on that note, we are crossing the 1 hour threshold, and I have not been doing live streams for very long. I've been doing it just long enough to know that I can handle about an hour, and after that I start going down and getting boring, and I don't want to do that to you guys. Really enjoying my time with you, but I'm afraid it is that time to go ahead and shut this down. I apologize for that, and I know I'm apologizing a lot. William's already chewed me out for that. I'll stop. But I really appreciate the time that I get to spend with you guys, and I thank you for that. See, fishing, kids, travel, work take up all time. Yeah, exactly. And I absolutely, YouTube allows me to spend time and do a hobby with my family. So you're right. That's something that's real important. The reason why I get to do this. Making things happen is what's up. I'll be around. Don't worry about it. It's still too cold to do what I want anyhow. Hey, William, let me know next time you're back in town. Obviously, you're absolutely right. It is the wrong time of year to be doing anything too outstanding. But let's be in touch, man. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to get some stuff together. We're going to be doing a lot of fishing this year. So, you know, everybody stay tuned. We got some fun things in the works. I'm going to be eating a jellyfish in April if we can get 1,000 subscribers. So please start screaming that out there, and maybe you guys can Grant McIntosh me to where I get I cross 1,000 subscribers 5 times over and have to eat 5 jellyfish. Yeah, we have Gila monsters. You guys got Komodo dragons. I like Komodo dragons, but they're not poisonous. Ours are poisonous. So guys, on that note, thank you very much. I really appreciate having you here today. You know, I like to sit here and talk and chat with you guys, and I'm trying to make content for people and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, you guys are giving me a little bit of a break from the mainstream, from everything that I've been having to deal with for the last couple of days. And I want to thank you very much for giving me that opportunity. I really do appreciate it. Got some cool stuff coming in the future here. We do have that contest going on with the, well, it actually hasn't been announced yet, only to you guys here in the live stream. But if you want a heads up, you want to get in first on that, it is open to non-subscribers. So, you know, there's going to be a few people that are going to be seeing those videos and stuff that have an opportunity to do it. I want to give you guys, subscribers, guys jumping in the live stream, I want to give you guys a first shot and a little bit of an inside scoop that it's going on so that you can hopefully find it before a non-subscriber does. Good luck. Happy hunting. I hope that gift card goes out to somebody in this chat room that will make me thrilled. Keep your eyes open, guys. It's hidden pretty good, but it's in there. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys have